In January 2025, 4 roommates, Lucas, Ava, Marcus, and Priya, signed a lease for a cheap apartment in a gritty corner of Cleveland, Ohio. The building, a 6-story relic from the 1920s called the Hawthorne Arms, was a steal at $800 a month for a 3-bedroom unit. The landlord, a chain-smoking retiree named Gus, warned them about the quirky heating system and a basement boiler room that was off-limits due to safety codes. The friends, all in their mid-20s and scraping by, Lucas a barista, Ava a freelance coder, Marcus a delivery driver, and Priya a nursing student, didn't care. Cheap rent was a godsend in a city where studios cost double. They moved in with thrift store furniture, a Costco bulk pack of ramen, and dreams of starting a group TikTok account to document their broke but vibey life. The apartment was drafty, with creaky floors and a faint mildew smell, but it had character, ornate crown molding, stained glass transoms, and a view of the snowy Cuyahoga River. On their first night, toasting with cheap beer, Ava heard a low hum from the vents. "That's just the boiler," Lucas said, but the hum had a rhythm, like a chant in a language none of them could place. They laughed it off, blaming the old building's quirks, and posted a jokey TikTok. "Our apartment's haunted. Send help." It got 2,000 likes, mostly from friends. The hum turned to whispers a week later. Marcus, up late playing Call of Duty, heard them through his headset, faint but clear. "Marcus, listen." He yanked off the headphones, heart racing, but the apartment was silent. The next morning, he told the others, who teased him about gaming too hard. But that night, Priya heard it too, while studying in the kitchen. The whispers came from the heating vent, murmuring numbers, 7, 14, 22. She jotted them down, thinking it was a prank. On a whim, she played those numbers in a Powerball scratch-off and won $500. The roommates were floored. "That's wild," Ava said, half laughing, half spooked. They posted about it on TikTok. "Our haunted boiler gave us lottery numbers," and the video hit 10,000 views. Encouraged, they gathered around the vent, phones recording, and asked, "What else you got?" The whispers responded, clearer now, in a guttural tongue, but one phrase stood out: "Leave. Food." Skeptical but curious, Lucas tossed a slice of pizza down the vent as a joke. The next day, Ava narrowly avoided a car accident when a voice whispered, "Turn left," seconds before a truck ran a red light. Their TikTok blew up, hitting 50,000 views with comments like, "That's a demon deal," and "What's in your basement?" The roommates, now calling themselves the Hawthorne Crew, leaned into the spooky content, but the whispers grew demanding. One night, they said, "Blood, now." Priya, unnerved, refused, but Marcus, cocky, pricked his finger and dripped a few drops into the vent. The next morning, he found a $1,000 Venmo deposit from an unknown account labeled Veil. The roommates were hooked, but the whispers' requests escalated. More blood, raw meat, even personal items like Priya's locket. Ava, the most cautious, wanted to stop. "This isn't a game," she said. "Something's using us." Lucas disagreed, dazzled by the TikTok fame. Their latest video, Our Boiler Talks Back, had 200,000 views, but when they ignored the whispers for a day, disaster struck. Marcus slipped on the stairs, breaking his ankle. Priya's laptop fried, erasing her nursing notes. Ava's bike was stolen, and Lucas got fired after a random health inspection shut down his cafe. The whispers turned menacing, chanting, "Pay or break." Desperate, the roommates left a raw steak by the basement door, which Gus had padlocked. The accident stopped, but the air in the apartment grew heavy, the lights flickering. Priya, researching online, found a 1928 article about the Hawthorne Arms. It mentioned a cult, the Veil Keepers, who used the boiler room for rituals to commune with the eternal. The cult vanished after a fire, and the basement was sealed. Their next TikTok, "We found a cult in our building," went viral, hitting 1 million views. Fans demanded they break into the boiler room. Against Ava's protests, Lucas borrowed bolt cutters from a co-worker. The basement was a maze of pipes and shadows. The boiler, a massive, rusted hulk, humming unnaturally. The whispers were deafening now, coming from inside the boiler, chanting, "Open! Free us!" Marcus, limping on crutches, noticed scratches on the boiler's surface, forming words. "We see you." The roommates stopped sleeping, haunted by nightmares of being burned alive. Ava's mirror showed a face that wasn't hers. Priya heard her mother's voice in the whispers, begging for help. Lucas's phone recorded audio of him sleeping, with a voice whispering, "Soon." Their TikTok comments turned dark. "You're cursed. Don't open the boiler." A local paranormal investigator, contacted via DM, warned them, "The boiler's a cage. Whatever's inside wants out." On their last night, the whispers became screams, shaking the walls. The padlock on the basement door snapped open. The roommates, terrified, grabbed kitchen knives and headed down, live streaming to 5,000 viewers. The boiler glowed red, its door rattling. Shadows writhed inside the pipes, clawing at the metal. Priya, sobbing, tossed her locket into the boiler, hoping to appease it. The screams stopped, but the boiler door creaked open, releasing a wave of heat and a stench like charred flesh. Figures emerged, 7, skeletal, their skin gray, eyes glowing ember-like. They moved jerkily, whispering in unison, "Join the Veil." Marcus swung his crutch, but the figures didn't flinch. Ava's knife melted in her hand. The live stream glitched, showing the roommates surrounded by flames that weren't there. Lucas, in a panic, threw a pipe at the boiler, cracking it. Black smoke poured out, forming a massive shape. Humanoid, eyeless, its voice the whispers amplified. "Free." The roommates ran, the building shaking. They reached the lobby as the boiler exploded, spewing smoke but no fire. The figures vanished, but the whispers followed, echoing in their ears. The Hawthorne Arms was evacuated, deemed structurally unsound. The roommates moved out, splitting up. Their final TikTok, "What We Unleashed in the Boiler Room," hit 3 million views, but comments called it fake. Lucas swears he hears chants in his new apartment. Ava's coding projects corrupt with the word veil. Marcus's ankle never healed right, and he sees shadows in mirrors. Priya quit nursing, haunted by her locket's loss. Last week, a Cleveland news report mentioned the Hawthorne Arms demolition. Workers found bones in the boiler room, but they disappeared before testing. The roommate's old TikTok account reactivated, posting clips of the basement with whispers chanting new names, those of their viewers. Epilogue for YouTube. The story ends with a chilling prompt. What's humming in your basement? Listen closely. For virality, tease lost live stream footage on Patreon and spark X discussions with hashtag BoilerRoomHorror, asking fans to share creepy apartment stories. The narrative leans into fears of unseen forces and Faustian bargains, set in a relatable urban American setting.